back to another episode of Active Every Day. Today we're going to focus on upper body strength, mostly our arms, and we're also going to have a discussion that relates to another video I had previously put out, discomfort, and the experiences of discomfort and how they kind of relate to exercise. We'll also relate that to the approach I've brought to you so far in our workouts. Kind of help you understand why we're doing some of the things we're doing and what you can expect to see a little bit more of as it relates to those progresses of challenge that I mentioned as well in one of our last videos. So for today, what I do want to talk about is incorporating things like household items that we can use if you don't have gym equipment at your house, like weights. If you do have weights, fantastic, because we're gonna introduce some different things for our arm strength today, but using some things just around the house can be really great too if you don't have weights. So, cans, these are just little tiny, like 2-pound inserts from some of the dumbbells I have, but it's great because it's relative to the size of a soup can or any type of can that you have in your cabinet. So something like that could be good. Even though they don't weigh a lot, soup cans don't weigh a lot, they weigh something. So we're getting some increase in stimulus when we do some of the movements, like some of our overhead reaching and pressing or arm circles. Also, it's changing the shape of your hand and giving your grip some responsibility. So when we do some things like our wrist work, two benefits. Now we do have a little bit of load, and a little bit of load for something small like this can be a lot. Where it might not be as much for the shoulder. So everything is a little bit different size. Our muscles aren't all the same strength. But also that length I mentioned about the difference in your hand grip. When you have some tension in your grip, it changes the length of your muscles. It puts different tension in your wrists. So when we're exploring flexibility and range of motion for things like our wrist, it's nice to have different size handles in our hands because it presents different challenges for our grip as well. Fantastic, so that's a great idea. But also, I mentioned, I think in another video, even something like a book bag that we can hold on to and we can raise it, use it for things like curls. You can hold it in one hand. So there's so many options. So I'll do a mix of both of these ideas and have a good discussion along the way. So let's actually start by holding something. So if you have cans or if it's gonna be a book bag, you can hold, if you have 2 items, 1 in each hand. If you just have 1 item, 1 hand, that's fine. I'll give you a cue to switch sides in a moment, but let's do some of the things we're used to doing. Let's hold those weights in our hands and let's do some of our neck circles. If the only weights you have at home are what you would consider to be heavy, then let's not hold anything right now. You can just do all of your warm-up movements without any weights in your hands. If your weights are light like these or like cans, then go ahead and hold those. If it's your book bag or something like that where you can adjust the amount of weight you have, set it to light. We want this to be just a very easy increase from holding nothing, and then you'll have the option to increase the challenge along the way. So normal rules here, 5 to 10. I'm talking, I'm not counting, as you can hear, so you just gotta kind of do what feels good for you, or just transition along with me. I typically get pretty close to that 10 mark. Okay, when we do our trunk today, look, let's just keep our hands down to the sides, and we'll start with just a side to side movement, and we'll get to our front back movement in just a moment. But just a nice easy side bend each way, enough so you can feel some stretching. Okay, I like to kind of use my hand against my leg, kind of feel how low my hand gets, get a gauge on kind of what my normal is. Part of the reason we do a lot of the same exact things is so that you become very familiar with those movements and how you feel in those movements from day to day. Some days we wake up, we do a movement and it's, wow, really tight or really restricted. Some days we wake up and we do a movement and it's not as restricted. Throughout a workout, we may do the first set and it feels restrictive. We can't go as far. And then the second or third or fourth set, we feel improvement in how well we move. And so it's those details that I'm trying to get us used to feeling. When you start warming up, you go to do a movement, you have a bigger range of motion in during other times in your life. You now have a gauge and a goal on how you need to prep yourself now for your workout. It's not worth bypassing or ignoring some of the tightness or soreness or restrictions we feel during warm-ups. That's what it's for. We can spend more time working on some of the restrictions and less time working on the things that are loose once we really have a good sense of what's happening in our bodies. So check me out with this second move. You're seeing my back round, you're seeing my chin tuck, you're seeing me become as tall as possible and kind of leaning back a little. And what we're taking care of now is, if we did that normal trunk circle, we get a front and a back move in that. So we're just kind of exploring that now. So we're kind of rounding our back down, reaching towards the floor, and curling straight back up. You really have the option with the knees to let them be bent a little bit or really straight. It kind of depends on how you feel and how tight you are. If your knees don't easily stay straight, then let them stay bent a little bit. Just move freely up and down. Really focus on how much you're moving your neck and your back, how much you're rounding, and then how much you're getting tall and upright, okay? And then after you've done a couple of reps and your body is starting to loosen up more and more, then you can start addressing the knees more. So let's do like 3 more reps together. We'll go very low, and once we're there, we'll take a moment to try to straighten the knees out. We'll feel a big increase in stretch, and then you can go ahead and let them soften a little bit as you stand. We'll do that 2 more times. Go ahead and roll on down. Once you've got nice and low, go ahead and straighten out those knees. Feel the bigger stretch. Let them soften. Stand back up. We got 1 more. Bring it on down. Straighten the knees as much as you can. Feel a big stretch. And soften the knees and round on up. Excellent. Just trying to let the body become more pliable. Let's do some shoulder rolls. Something like this. We can go 10 each direction. All right. Now, if you're someone who has just one weight in your hand, go ahead and switch sides now. That's been a long time with weight on just one side. Let's put it on the other, and we'll kind of do the rest of the warm-up with the weights on the other side. But we got some shoulder rolls. If you're holding 2 objects, just keep them the same. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna do a couple things for the wrists. So it's just one arm at a time. If you have the object in one hand, if you have an object in both hands, we can do both. You just kind of let your hands hang with your palms facing backwards. You just curl the wrist backwards a little bit. If I have a book bag in my hand, it would be something like this. Just want to kind of work the wrist joint by itself, get it flexing, curling upward a little. 10 reps and then we'll switch sides. Yeah, just get the wrist moving. Excellent. We got these 2 weights. If you have one object, you would just hold with 2 hands here in the front. We're just gonna pull them up toward our chest. If you look at me from the side, you can see my hands are pretty close to my body. We'll do 10 of these. Okay. Not thinking about too much other than staying nice and tall with my posture, just keeping the hands close to the body. They don't have to come way up here in front of my face, just up to my chest. Good. Then we'll do a bicep curl. So elbows stay kind of low, hands curl up. Again, if you have one object, you would just hold it with 2 hands and go ahead and curl upright. If you have a can or something in each hand, curl them both at the same time. And right now, it doesn't matter if it's palms down, palms in, or palms up. Just do whatever feels good for you. And our last will be a press. So we'll bring the weights kind of up in front of our chest, and we'll press straight up and down. Again, if you're holding one object like a book bag or a book, just hold it with 2 hands and bring it up. If you have something in each hand, we have a little bit of a bigger option. We could have our hands together in the front, or we could move them a little bit wider. So you can explore those differences. Again, about 10 reps. And then our final exercise, we're gonna do a bent over row or a pulling exercise. Same as we've shown. If it's one object, just hold it with both hands. If you have two, hands can be together or apart. We bend at the waist. The difference now, we don't want to be rounded like our warm-up. We want to keep our back flat so that the muscles in our back are contracted and getting stronger. And then we pull the hands up toward our chest. Anywhere between the middle of your chest and your belly button is a good target for the hands. And just straight up toward the body. You'll see my shoulder blades squeeze back. When we pull back, we can squeeze back all at once. And that's a nice quick review on a row. Let's recap our strength exercise that we just did with our weights, and then we'll do 2 more sets. So we did a upright row. 10 reps, and we're keeping the weights close to our chest. There's 10. We did a bicep curl. Elbows low, hands curl up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did a shoulder press. The weights are just up in front of our chest or shoulder height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did a bent over row. Bend at the waist. Keep your back flat. Pull straight toward your body. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Fantastic. That's 2 sets. Let's try for 1 more. Quick review on our details for our body on most of these exercises. Generally, tall posture. Take good deep breaths. Okay? If you can think about it, keep your eye gaze upward a little bit as well. If your eyes are down, often our head will start to come down, our posture will come down. So just bring everything up a little. Chest up, chin up, eyes up, upright row. 1, 2, close to the body. 3, 4, just to the chest. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The bicep curl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shoulder press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the row. Turn this way 1 more time. Bend at the waist. Try to keep the back flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pretty cool. Okay, so that's a bunch of different new upper body strength exercises that can be done with some light weights or a book bag or really any object that's heavy. Bicep curls. I already show you, using a book bag. Bicep curls. Shoulder press. Bent over row. It's really nice too to be using a bag if that's your only option because you can change the weight so much. You can make it so much heavier, so much lighter. Upright row. Okay. So we've done a lot of reps of a couple of exercises. So the idea here with getting us moving into a beginner style program, keep exercises easy in complexity. There's not a lot of moving parts. You don't have to keep track of a lot of things. We're not doing like a lower body and an upper body movement all at one time, like a squat and a shoulder press. We're just kind of doing one thing down low, maybe one thing up top, taking rest between. Doing a lot of repetitions so that we can get familiar with just how to control our body in that space, what it feels like to move, get a lot of circulation into our joints, get our joints moving if they're feeling stiff. We've done a lot of what we call volume. A fair number of sets and a fair number of reps, 100 reps on some of these leg workouts. Another really good way to build foundations for strength after we become familiar with a pattern, so the learning phase, endurance, part of the reason we're doing so many reps with lightweight, so we have a baseline for conditioning, so 5 to 15 minutes starts to feel a little easier to complete. When we start looking at now bridging into some good foundations for strength, isometrics, holding reps at different positions along the range of motion can really enhance how well we have to stabilize our body and how well we can become strong in those positions. And we see the isometrics a little bit in the hand plank. We're at the top of a push-up, strong and fixed in our joints here, sturdy through our core. And in our last upper body workout that involved planks, we went to the halfway point to begin feeling tension and how to hold near the bottom of a push-up. So let's finish our workout today with one set that combines repetitions, which helps us increase our volume and workload, and we'll pair that with isometrics, holding, which will help also increase our endurance because our set length will increase, and it will help build our overall strength with our ability to feel and stabilize our body. Okay, so let's try some of that together. So we'll do the upright row. We'll do 5 reps, we'll hold for 10 seconds. 5 reps, hold for 10 seconds. We'll try that for each of our exercises and see how it goes. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and then we hold it. We'll try to hold for about 10 seconds. Just hold the top of the rep. Make sure we're breathing. Let's take another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold 10 seconds. Now, when I use the word easy, okay, easy means we can complete the workload that's prescribed and relax. It doesn't mean I perceived how hard the workload was as easy. So if I say, let's do 10 reps, and we can do 10 reps, that was easy. If we can barely get reps 7, 8, 9, 10, our form, our ability to stay with good composure breaks down, or we have to absolutely stop, we can't finish the reps, now that's an unfinished set, that's not easy. So I want to make sure that the weights we use when we start a lot of this are allowing our sets to be easy. We can complete the workload. Let's try the bicep curl. So that's just another sort of detail along the way as we get used to having conversations together. This is our 5th rep, and now we're holding halfway for 10. A hard set would be something that maybe is a broken set. 5 more reps. A set where we ask for so much volume, so many reps, so much time holding that we can't complete the set all in a row. It'd be a hard set. And rest. And so you'll start to see in our workouts, easy sets, ones we can achieve, and bridging into hard sets. And we'll play with more reps in a set, and we'll play with longer holds. And we'll talk about strategies on how to get through those easy sets and hard sets. The shoulder press, 5 reps and a 10-second hold. So this is a nice one. Overhead, hold for 10. Posture tall, make sure you're still breathing. Tall through the top of the head. 5 more reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's hold. And 3, 2, 1, and time. Excellent. We just have one more exercise to go. It's the bent over row. And this program, this Active Everyday program, it's not to really help dial you into any one of maybe your specific goals for yourself. It's really to just start to get you in shape so that maybe any goal that you have that's beyond just moving a little every day becomes a little bit easier to actually achieve. Hold for 10 seconds. Maybe it becomes a little easier to conceptualize the process around what it's going to take for you to reach your goal. We got 5 reps and a 10-second hold. The more experience you have and the more time you practice just moving and spending time thinking about and being positive toward the journey of getting in shape, there's our 10 seconds. The more broad the landscape becomes that you can interpret, visualize as you sort of hash out what your goals are and how you're going to get to those goals. So anyhow, that's a while we're going to finish today's workout. That was pretty cool. We did 4 sets total. We ended up with 40 reps of each of those exercises, okay? And then we did the 10-second holds in there as well. So let's say we did 50 reps of each exercise. That was 4 exercises. That's 200 reps. We're doing 100 rep squat workouts and 200 rep upper body workouts. That's pretty darn good. That's a great foundation. Stay active every day, y'all. We'll see you soon.